Welcome back, listeners, to another Building Better Grammar for IELTS.
Always exciting.
Today, we're going to be looking at adverbs of frequency
Okay.
and how these can really boost your IELTS speaking score.
Right.
These are those handy words that tell us how often something happens.
Yeah.
Like often, rarely, always, sometimes.
Exactly.
And using these well can really add that extra level of naturalness and fluency to your English, which is exactly what the IELTS examiners are listening for.
Absolutely.
So to help you really nail this,
Okay.
we're going to be tackling 4 common IELTS speaking questions,
All right.
all related to hobbies and leisure.
Sounds good.
We'll give you some sample answers,
Okay.
and we'll break down how those adverbs of frequency can help you get that coveted Band 9 score.
Great. So let's jump right into that first question.
Okay.
Imagine you're in the IELTS speaking test.
Right.
And the examiner asks, how often do you watch movies in your free time?
Okay, so I'll be the candidate and you be the examiner.
All right, then. Tell me, how often do you watch movies in your free time?
I watch movies quite frequently,
Okay.
especially during weekends when I have more downtime.
Mm-hmm.
It's an excellent way for me to switch off, unwind, and detach from daily stress.
Yeah.
Watching a good film, especially something thought-provoking, always feels like a great treat after a busy week working and studying.
That's a fantastic response.
Oh, thanks.
You've immediately addressed the question with the adverb quite frequently,
Yes.
which gives the examiner a clear understanding of your movie watching habits.
Right.
And notice how you didn't just say often.
Yeah.
Using quite frequently adds a touch of sophistication,
Right.
showing the examiner that you have a broader vocabulary.
Exactly. And I tried to pack in some impressive vocabulary to demonstrate my language skills.
Absolutely. You used words and phrases like downtime, switch off, unwind, detach from daily stress, and thought-provoking, all of which showcase a strong command of the English language.
That's the goal.
It's important to remember that IELTS examiners are looking for a variety of vocabulary.
Yeah.
And using less common words like these can really help you stand out.
Absolutely.
So just to make sure everyone's on the same page, downtime means your free time for relaxing.
Right.
To switch off and unwind both mean to relax and forget about your worries.
Mm-hmm.
Detach from daily stress implies taking a break from everything.
Yeah.
And a thought-provoking film is one that makes you think deeply.
Exactly.
Now let's hear a different approach to the same question.
Okay.
This time I'll be the candidate and you be the examiner.
All right, bring on the challenge. How often do you watch movies in your free time?
I rarely find the time to watch movies these days because my schedule is packed.
Oh, right.
But I occasionally manage to catch a new release if friends recommend it highly enough.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly on a quiet evening.
Yeah.
I really enjoy those moments when I can just kick back and get lost in an interesting drama.
Okay, this is interesting because you've used contrasting adverbs of frequency, rarely and occasionally, to paint a slightly different picture. Even though you're saying you don't watch movies often, you're still highlighting those moments when you do.
Exactly. The IELTS speaking test isn't about giving right or wrong answers.
Yeah.
It's about demonstrating your ability to communicate effectively in English.
Right.
And even if you don't have the same habits as the examiner, you can still use adverbs of frequency to give a comprehensive and nuanced response.
Yeah, and you've still managed to use some great vocabulary.
Yeah.
Packed schedule, new release, quiet evening, kick back and get lost in.
Yeah, for those who might be wondering, a packed schedule means you have very little free time.
Right.
A new release is a movie that has recently come out.
Okay.
A quiet evening is just a peaceful evening free from distractions. Kickback means to relax.
Right.
And to get lost in a movie means to be completely absorbed in it.
Right.
So we've seen 2 different approaches to the same question.
Yeah.
Both using adverbs of frequency effectively.
Exactly. And I think they both would score highly.
Definitely.
Now let's move on to a question about exercise.
Okay.
Do you go to the gym or exercise regularly?
Yeah.
I'll take this one first.
Okay. Hit me with your answer. Do you go to the gym or exercise regularly?
Physical fitness is something I value immensely, and thus I always make it a priority to go to the gym at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Wow.
I found that working out really helps me clear my mind.
Yeah.
And I feel so much better physically and mentally afterward.
Okay.
It's almost like a reset button for both my body and my mind.
Now, the interesting thing here is your use of the adverb always.
Right.
This conveys a strong sense of commitment to physical fitness, suggesting that it's an integral part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Remember, IELTS examiners aren't just listening for grammar and vocabulary.
Yeah.
They're also assessing your ability to express yourself fluently and naturally.
Absolutely.
Using always in this context achieves both of those things.
Right. I wanted to convey my dedication to exercise.
Yeah, and you did. You also used some excellent vocabulary in your answer. Physical fitness, value immensely. Priority, clear my mind, reset button. And physically and mentally better.
Yeah.
All of these show a good range of vocabulary, which, as we've said, is essential for a high score.
Absolutely. Just let's make sure everyone's clear on these terms.
Sure.
Physical fitness just means being in good shape.
Okay.
To value immensely means to consider something very important.
Right.
Priority refers to something you prioritize over other things. To clear my mind means to reduce stress and feel mentally refreshed.
Yeah.
Reset button is a way to describe something that makes you feel renewed.
Okay.
And physically and mentally better simply means feeling good in both body and mind.
All right, I'm ready to tackle this question from a different angle.
Okay, let's hear your question again.
All right, so tell me, do you go to the gym or exercise regularly?
I hardly ever go to the gym, as I don't particularly enjoy that environment. However, I sometimes go for a run when I feel like I need to get out and do something to unwind or stretch out my muscles.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't always enjoy it, but afterward I do feel a lot more energized and less stressed.
Okay, so you've gone in a completely different direction here.
Yeah.
Admitting that you hardly ever go to the gym, but you've balanced it out with sometimes to show that you do engage in other forms of exercise.
Right.
It's a great example of how you can use adverbs of frequency to express a wider range of habits and preferences.
Right, and I've used some specific vocabulary to describe those habits, like hardly ever, don't particularly enjoy, get out, unwind, stretch muscles, and energize, less stressed.
Exactly. For those who may not be familiar, hardly ever basically means almost never.
Okay.
To don't particularly enjoy means to have a mild dislike for something. Get out, unwind, stretch muscles is a simple but effective way to describe light exercise.
Right.
And energized, less stressed explains how you feel after exercising.
Perfect. All right, I think it's time we move on to our next question.
Yeah.
Focusing on social activities.
Okay.
Let's hear how you would answer this one.
Right.
How often do you spend time with friends? So I'll be the candidate and you be the examiner.
Okay. How often do you spend time with friends?
I frequently meet up with friends at least once a week.
Okay.
We tend to gather for dinner or just hang out together to share our thoughts. It's always something I find essential for my well-being.
Yeah.
Spending time with them gives me this boost of energy, and I always feel happier afterward.
What's great about this answer is that it clearly conveys the frequency of your social interactions frequently and highlights the positive impact spending time with friends has on you.
Yeah.
IELTS examiners are always looking for genuine responses, and this answer shows that you value your friendships and understand the benefits of social connection.
Exactly. I tried to incorporate vocabulary that would demonstrate my fluency, like frequently gather, hang out, share our thoughts, essential for my well-being, boost of energy, and feel happier afterward.
Yes, you did a fantastic job. For those who may be unfamiliar, frequently simply means often.
Right.
Gather and hang out are informal ways of saying spend time together. Share our thoughts means to have meaningful conversations with your friends.
Yes.
Essential for my well-being emphasizes the importance of social interaction for your happiness and mental health.
Right.
A boost of energy is a feeling of being more lively and alert.
Okay.
And feel happier afterward emphasizes the positive emotional impact of spending time with your friends.
Yes. So let's hear another approach to this question.
All right.
I'll be the candidate this time.
Okay.
Ask me the same question about spending time with friends.
Okay. Let's see what you come up with. So tell me, how often do you spend time with friends?
I scarcely get to see my friends in person these days because we're all so busy and our schedules tend to be conflicting. But we occasionally meet up for special occasions, holidays, or just group chats.
Right.
Even though it's not as often as I'd like. Those moments together always leave me feeling really connected and recharged despite our hectic lives.
This is a great example of how you can use adverbs of frequency to describe a situation where you don't get to do something as often as you might like.
Yeah.
By using scarcely and occasionally, you've accurately portrayed your social life.
Yes.
While still emphasizing the importance of those connections.
Right. And I also tried to include some more sophisticated vocabulary like scarcely get to see, conflicting schedules, special occasions, holidays, connected, recharged, and hectic lives.
You did a great job with that. Scarcely get to see basically means you almost never see someone.
Okay.
Usually because of busy schedules.
Yeah.
Conflicting schedules refers to when people's availability doesn't match up.
Right.
Special occasions, holidays, or specific events or celebrations when you might get together. Connected, recharged describes the feeling of closeness and renewed energy you get from spending time with loved ones. And hectic lives refers to the busy and sometimes overwhelming nature of modern life.
Right. So we've tackled movies, exercise, and friends.
Yeah.
Now for our final question.
Okay.
Do you read books in your leisure time?
All right.
I'll be the candidate first.
Okay. Tell me, do you read books in your leisure time?
Yes. I often find myself reaching for a book, especially novels or historical biographies, whenever I have a free evening.
Okay.
I love getting lost in a good story, and it's such a stimulating way to unwind.
Yeah.
Reading makes me feel more relaxed and sometimes allows me to explore new perspectives and ideas on things.
What I like about this answer is how you use the adverb often.
Yeah.
To emphasize that reading is a regular part of your routine.
Right.
You've also highlighted the positive aspects of reading, relaxation, intellectual stimulation, and personal growth, all of which demonstrate a genuine interest in the activity.
Absolutely. And I wanted to show a range of vocabulary as well. So I used phrases like, often, whenever I have a free evening, historical biographies, novels, stimulating way to unwind, and new perspectives and ideas.
You did an excellent job. Just to clarify for our listeners, often means frequently or regularly.
Okay.
Whenever I have a free evening indicates that you make time for reading whenever possible.
Right.
Historical biographies, novels, are examples of specific genres you enjoy,
Yes.
showing that you have diverse reading interests.
Exactly.
Stimulating way to unwind means that you find reading both relaxing and intellectually engaging, and new perspectives and ideas highlights how reading can broaden your understanding of the world.
Okay, so we've heard one approach to this question about reading.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious to see how you would answer it from a different perspective.
All right, let's give it a go. Ask me that same question again.
All right, so tell me, do you read books in your leisure time?
I seldom read books purely for leisure because of time constraints,
Right.
but I sometimes indulge in a good novel when I'm on holiday or when I need a break from work. Those moments are so enjoyable, and it feels like a luxury to immerse myself in a well-written story and be transported into another world.
This is a great example of how you can honestly convey your reading habits, even if they're not as frequent as you'd like.
Right.
You've used seldom and sometimes to paint a clear picture of your limited reading time.
Exactly.
But you've still managed to highlight the enjoyment and value you find in reading.
It's all about finding that balance between honesty and showcasing your language abilities.
Yeah, and speaking of language, you've woven in some great vocabulary.
Thanks.
Seldom time constraints, purely for leisure. Indulge in a good novel, on holiday, luxury, well-written story, and transported into another world.
Let's unpack those for our listeners.
Okay.
Seldom simply means rarely.
Right.
While time constraints refers to limitations on your free time. Purely for leisure means solely for enjoyment or relaxation.
Yeah.
Indulge in a good novel means to allow yourself to enjoy a pleasurable reading experience. On holiday means during a vacation or break from work.
Right.
Luxury emphasizes that reading is a special treat for you.
Okay.
A well-written story is one that is skillfully crafted and enjoyable to read.
Yeah.
And transported into another world is a beautiful way to describe the feeling of being completely immersed in a book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
We've just walked you through 4 common IELTS speaking questions, exploring how to use adverbs of frequency effectively to craft natural, fluent, and high-scoring responses.
Exactly. And now we want you to put this knowledge into practice.
Yes.
Remember those 4 questions we covered. How often do you watch movies in your free time?
Yeah.
Do you go to the gym or exercise regularly? How often do you spend time with friends?
Yeah.
And do you read books in your leisure time?
Right.
Take some time to think about your own answers to these questions.
Exactly. Try using a variety of adverbs of frequency
Yeah.
and see if you can incorporate some of the vocabulary we discussed. And if you're feeling brave, share your answer in the comments section below.
Yes.
We'd love to see what you come up with.
Absolutely.
So to our listeners, I challenge you to think about how you can incorporate this technique into your IELTS speaking practice.
Observe the people around you, your friends, your family, your colleagues.
Exactly.
Pay attention to their habits and preferences. And see if you can describe those patterns using a variety of adverbs of frequency.
It's a fantastic way to expand your vocabulary, improve your fluency, and add a layer of sophistication to your spoken English.
And who knows? It might just be the secret ingredient that helps you achieve that Band 9 score you've been striving for.
Absolutely. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. And until next time, happy learning, everyone.